Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about our menu and our recipe book, which is very important for making a good smoothie. First of all, our menu. This is available on the counter for all the members. Are the fruity twists. Those are the fruit purees, a mixture of those. The fruity flavors, which are all mixed with milk and purees. The sour power, which are the tart ones. The chocolate ones, which are all, as they say, chocolate. The low carb smoothies, and then the coffee flavored smoothies. On the back of this, we have our green smoothies. The peachy green smoothie, which is spinach, kale, strawberry, and bananas, but adds peaches. The Hulk is the same, but it adds pineapple. The blueberry booster is the same, but it adds blueberries. You choose your base, but that's in the recipe book, so you don't have to worry about that. And again, we have the 16 ounce and the 32 ounce. Important to remember about the green smoothie, the protein is not included with this. All the smoothies on the front includes meal replacement protein, whey protein, muscle mass protein, or plant protein. You can get a smoothie with no protein. That's usually for kids, but we do get orders for those also. Okay, all of these on the menu are in our recipe book. In the recipe book, they're in alphabetical order to make it easier for you to find the recipe when you get ready to make a smoothie. But all of these are in the book, and they have a specific recipe to follow for a 16 ounce or for a 32 ounce. These recipes are tried and true, so you need to follow the recipe exactly. Don't try to tweak it or change it any, except for the few exceptions that I'll tell you about in just a minute. The first recipe is for a 16 ounce smoothie. Right beside it is the same recipe, same flavor, but for a 32 ounce. It tells you whether to put chocolate protein or original protein, and it says original in this recipe book. Original means vanilla. Vanilla and original are the same, okay? It doesn't tell you whether to do meal replacement, whey, or muscle mass or plant. That's what you get when you take the order from the customer. It just tells you whether to use the vanilla or the original, otherwise vanilla or chocolate. Okay. All of these are in alphabetical order. Tells you exactly what to do. When you make a smoothie, the 16 ounce is measured in the smaller cup. The measurements are on the side of the cup, and you just follow those exactly. Let's say for a chocolate strawberry, you're going to add 3 ounces of milk. Now, I like to add the thinnest liquid first, whether it's water, milk, one of the purees. If you'll put the thinnest mix in first, then it will pour out easier. That's not a have to, it's just a tip on to make it a little bit easier. Then you would put 3.5 strawberry. After you measure it in here, look at your total and make sure this matches what this says. 3.5 and 3, that's going to be 6.5. So you should come up to the 6.5 mark on the 16 ounce measuring cup. Okay, then you will pour that into your mixer, blender. After that, you would add any of your supplements. You would add, if the recipe calls for peanut butter, you would add the peanut butter after you've poured it into the blender, okay? If you are making a 32 ounce, we call that a large one, you use the larger cup. Again, follow the recipe exactly. If you are still making the chocolate strawberry, this says add 4 ounces milk and 6 ounces strawberry. So you'd fill the milk up to 4, and then from 4, 6 more would be 10. So you should have a total of 10 when you have finished. Okay, and that's poured into the blender, and then you add the protein, any supplements, anything different that they're adding. Okay, and then you blend it well. I'm not going to go into actually blending the smoothie yet. Okay, also in this book, we have our seasonal recipes. The seasonal recipes change, and they're not on the original menu. These are the fall, for example. All of these recipes are in here also, but they're not at the first of the book. You have to turn over to the tab that says seasonal. And all of our seasonal smoothies, whether we're using them right now or not, are listed in here for you. You follow the instructions exactly the same. Some of our newest ones are on sticky notes. You follow that. It's just not typed in. They'll be on the sticky notes. Okay. All right, then the green smoothies, you measure exactly in the cups just like you do. You start with your liquid, and on your green smoothies there is a note on here that tells you what order to make them in, which is very important for making a good green smoothie. And we'll go over that some more when next time when we talk about actually making the smoothie. All right, the next tab is for energy tea. The energy tea recipes are on a page all together. They always start with the fruit puree, then the how much tea, and it's usually 7 ounces of tea, then a scoop of ice, and the liquid caffeine. We use the liquid caffeine for the energy tea. Your total for that should be 16 ounces. So when you put the ice in, just put enough ice to bring it up to the 16-ounce mark. Let me show you the cups that we use to make our energy tea in. These are shaker cups, but the measurements are on the side just like they are on our smoothie cups. Okay? And you'll actually shake your energy tea in this. Some of them add frozen fruit and some of them do not, but that's in the recipe again right here. We only have one size of the energy teas and they are 16 ounces. There may be someone that wants more than 16 ounces, and if they do, then we do what we call a tea to go, and that's written in here also. You do 2 of the same tea, but in the second one you don't put any ice. That way if they want to drink one and then take the second one and add it to or save it for later, then that ice is not in there melting and weakening your tea. You do get a discount on that also. Since it's tea to go, you do a $1 off, so it'd be $7 instead of 4 and 4 for $8. Okay. Again, that's written here. If we have a seasonal tea like we do right now, it will be written in here probably on a sticky note beside the regular recipes. The liquid caffeine, we measure with a teaspoon. It says a pump in here, but the pump was not reliable and didn't always dispense the same amount, so we use a teaspoon, and it stays out on the cabinet for you to use all the time. They can add an extra pump of caffeine, so you would do 2 teaspoons of caffeine. 1 pump of caffeine is about 100 milligrams of caffeine, so if they want extra, they would be getting 200 with an extra pump. We also have B12, which is a liquid, and they can add B12 to an energy tea also. That's really all you can add to an energy tea because those are the only 2 liquids that we have, and the powders do not mix up well when you shake them for an energy tea. All right, the next page is probably the most important one of all because this tells you how to ring up your smoothie after you've made it, but it also tells you what to put in that smoothie. Now there's no flavors on this page. This just tells you what is available. We have what we call bundles, which is one of the proteins with some supplements added, and there is a discount on those, so it does matter how you ring that up. The first one are the whey bundles. If you use whey protein in any of these shakes, then it's called a refuel. And in the computer, it says 16-ounce refuel or 32-ounce refuel. Okay. All right, let's say they want the whey protein, but they want to add fiber and fat burner. That's one of our bundles, and it's called a lean machine. A lean machine has whey protein, fiber, and fat burner in it. Okay, so it would be helpful for you to know that already They may not ask for a lean machine, but you'll need to know what's in a lean machine so you'll know how to charge that and what to put in the recipe. Okay, we also have a low carb, which is only chocolate or vanilla. The low carb is not extremely low in carbs, but it's lower than the other smoothies in carbs. It does always use whey protein because whey protein has less carbs than any of the others. Okay? If they want to add something to that, like peanut butter, then it's no longer a low carb. It is just vanilla or chocolate, and that's all. Okay? We also have what we call a carb saver. It's actually written over here, but we have a carb saver, which is very low carbs, like 4 grams of carbs. It is nothing but the whey protein and milk or water. Okay. Our low carbs have yogurt in them. This leaves the yogurt out, so that does away with most of your carbs. It's just the milk and the protein powder. Okay. If it is vanilla carb saver, then you can use the vanilla extract, and that's in the recipe. But if it's a chocolate carb saver, you do not use the chocolate syrup because that would change your carbs. Okay, but that's in your recipe, so you don't have to worry about remembering that. All right, then we have our muscle mass proteins. The muscle mass is a weight gainer. It's a high calorie shake, and a muscle mass with any of these flavors is called a muscle mass. But if they want muscle mass protein and they're going to add creatine or glutamine, then it's called a muscle fuel. And the muscle fuel is a bundle, so it is going to change the way you ring it up, and it will give you a discount. It's just muscle mass protein with creatine and glutamine. Okay. Remember, on the muscle mass protein, you always use a heaping scoop. On the whey and meal replacement, you use a loose, flat scoop, but on the muscle mass, it is a heaping scoop. You use 1 scoop of protein for a small 16 ounce. You use 2 scoops of protein for a large 32 ounce. All right, and then we have our meal replacement bundles. The meal replacement is a meal replacement protein with any of these flavors. All right, if it's a fat burner, you're going to use the meal replacement protein, but you're going to add a fat burner supplement, and you do get a discount on that since it's a bundle. We also have what we call an energy rush. The energy rush is meal replacement protein, and you add energy. The supplements are on top of the protein. Remember, I showed you that in the first video, and all the supplements for any of these will be up there on top. Okay, we also have an immune booster. An immune booster uses meal replacement protein, and it adds vitamin C and an immunity blend. Again, it matters how you ring that up. You don't just add those supplements in. You ring it as a bundle because you get a discount on it that way. Okay? The sooner that you memorize this page, the easier it is on you. If you know what a lean machine is, you don't have to stop and remember, but it is written on this page for you. So if you have any doubt, look at it here. But the sooner you learn these, the easier it'll be to make your smoothie and to ring it up. And also, we always get a lot of questions about, well, what's the difference in those proteins? So you need to know, what is the difference between meal replacement and whey? What is the difference between those and a muscle mass? So it's written on a note on this same page with all of those bundles. You need to know that the whey protein has higher calories and higher protein, but it has lower carbs. So the whey protein is good for someone, say, that is a diabetic, because they don't need extra carbs. The meal replacement protein has lower calories and protein, but it's higher in carbs. So therefore, it'd be better at replacing a meal and has more of the nutrients in that. The muscle mass is a high calorie shake. It's a weight gainer. That's usually for guys or sometimes for women if they're actually trying to put on weight. So if they ask you and you're not sure, it's in this book for you. This book needs to stay open on the counter with you for a while when you're making a smoothie. You may think you know the recipe perfectly. Double check it. Double check it, because if you make a mistake, you're not going to get the same smoothie every time. Okay? I think that's all for now, and we'll talk more about actually making the smoothies next time.